life in the wonderful world of English? Hopefully you're doing quite well, but if not, I'm here to help you. Abby Wright's the name and writing is the game. Every perfect paper needs a perfect introduction. Let's say we're writing a paper on a short story, for example. You need to include the title, the author, and the type of story within your first 3 sentences of your introductory paragraph. You should also include the topic of what you are writing about in the first sentence or 2. Now, the last sentence of your introductory paragraph should be known as your thesis. Sometimes you get away with having the thesis elsewhere, but it's much easier to just put it as your last sentence. For my thesis, I'm writing about how deceit, wit, and bravery help the narrator to achieve revenge, which is the main topic of my paper. Remember? My paper here is on Edgar Allan Poe's The Cask of Amontillado. The subject of the matter that I am discussing is revenge in this story. Here's my introductory paragraph.
Revenge is fuel for the soul. When you feel wronged and need something to bring you back to reality, revenge is the way to go. In The Cask of Amontillado by Edgar Allan Poe, it is a great example of a narrator receiving his revenge over an old friend. Through deceit, wit, and bravery, the narrator, Montresor, succeeds in his revenge.
Now that you have your introductory paragraph written, you can move on to your first body paragraph. The first of your 3 body paragraphs will be about the first adjective you wrote in your thesis. For example, I mentioned deceit first, so that is why my first body paragraph will be about deceit. I use deceit to describe how the main character is getting his revenge. This is how you write the body paragraph. Use descriptive details to prove your point. You can also use quotes from the story. These are a great way of adding detail to getting your point across. Just make sure that you cite your quotations.
For example, the first quote I use is followed by parentheses 165 end parentheses period. This is the page number in the book that I am using. On this page in my book, you can find this quote. That is why you put the page number there. You must put this in parentheses so that the reader of your paper can see exactly where you got the quote from.
My next 2 body paragraphs will be written about wit and bravery. Wit will be the subject of my second body paragraph, while bravery will be the subject of my third. This is because of their order in my thesis. Just like in my first body paragraph, I use quotes to prove my point. I also use a lot of descriptive adjectives to get my facts in line. You must use facts while in a paper. If you do not and you use opinions, make sure that your teacher is allowing you to write an opinionated paper. If not, this is a major no-no and you most likely will lose points. Lastly, you will be writing your conclusion paragraph. In your conclusion, you must restate your thesis in some way other than how it is written in your introductory paragraph. You must include the 3 adjectives that you wrote about in your body paragraph. Also, in your conclusion, restate the author, title, and type of story. This is a great way to get the reader to remember what you stated in your introduction and spoke of in the paper. It really ties the whole thing together at the end. Here's my conclusion paragraph for the short story essay I wrote.
This short story is a great example of revenge because of the events leading up to the antagonist's destruction. Poe shows that the narrator uses deceit, wit, and bravery to conquer his attempt at taking Fortunato and burying him alive. Through different actions taken by Montresor, Fortunato is comfortable going to the Amontillado, which allows Montresor to get his revenge. Here's our final product. Now, do you see how to perfectly write a paper? Hopefully, you will use this information in your future. Don't forget to use descriptive adjectives and quotes in your body paragraph, and to rephrase your introduction as your conclusion. It certainly is the most delectable way to write a paper. Signing off, I'm Abby Wright. Have a fabulous day!